The Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) says there is currently no plan by the bank to restructure and redenominate the naira. The Apex Bank, in a statement signed by its Director Corporate Communications Isa Abdul-Mumin, said that it is concerned that the narrative which they had refuted before now appears to be gaining traction, with several debates on the implications of such a policy for the Nigerian economy. The statement reiterated that the content of the message are misleading and the authors of the message in the mischief modified text obtained from an old policy move by a previous CBN governor in 2007 to make it appear recent. Abdul-Mumin stated that while the bank may be considering reforms such as subject to laid-down procedures in line with the provisions of the CBN Act 2007, he advised the public to ignore the news and as it is speculative and calculated to cause panic. President Bola Tinubu has sought the approval of the Nigerian Senate for the 2024 to 2026 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework (MTEF) and Fiscal Strategy Paper (FSP). Tinubu's request is contained in a letter addressed to the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and read at plenary this Tuesday. Akpabio referred the MTEF and FSP to committees on Finance, Appropriations, National Planning and Economic Affairs, and Local and Foreign Debt for further legislative input. Both chambers of the National Assembly have passed a supplementary budget of 2.17 trillion naira for the year 2023, earlier approved by the Federal Executive Council. Atiku Bagudu, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, revealed that the supplementary budget will be used to fund urgent national issues, including a 605 billion naira allocation for security and national defense to sustain recorded gains. The Nigerian Senate has confirmed and approved the nomination of Zak Adedeji as chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS). Adedeji, who had resumed in acting capacity after taking over from his predecessor Mohammed Nami, promised to improve data mining capacity of the agency to make appropriate tax decisions. Also confirmed and approved by the Senate is the nomination of Shekar Chira as Auditor General for the Federation. Chira will be manning the office of the Auditor General for the Federation that had been vacant for over a year since the retirement of Adolphus Agogo in September 7, 2022. The Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria (SMEDEN) will structure at least 1 million startups in the north to make them better prepared for easy access to funding, which is a serious challenge to MSMEs in the country. Charles Odi, Director General of SMEDEN, who made the commitment during an interactive session at the 2023 Startup Iowa Innovation Summit, said he will be working with the conveners of the summit, the eight in the series, to achieve the target, a move he believes will reduce the jobs and skills gap in the country. The summit, which held in Abuja, had the theme Building Sustainable Tech Ecosystems, Lessons from the North.
Not just us doing the trainings, people like Iowa Startup, getting them into our system, getting them licensed as business development service providers so that they can, in their own communities, start to so that the value chain, so that they can start to train these small businesses on better structuring to access funding, on their business models, using different business model methods, and on global best practices.
An escalation of the latest conflict in the Middle East, which comes on top of disruptions caused by the Russian invasion of Ukraine, could push global commodity markets into uncharted waters, although the global economy is in a much better position than it was in the 1970s to cope with a major oil price shock. This is according to the World Bank in its latest commodity markets outlook. Under the bank's baseline forecast, oil prices are expected to average $90 a barrel in the current quarter before declining to an average of $81 a barrel next year as global economic growth slows. Overall, commodity prices are projected to fall 4.1% next year. Prices of agricultural commodities are expected to decline next year as supplies rise. Prices of base metals are also projected to drop 5% in 2024. Oil prices have risen about 6% since the start of the conflict.